My husband thought it was perfectly safe to sneak his 22-year-old assistant into our house while I was out of town, but he didn't know I was watching them live on our brand new dog camera. So instead of crying, I opened our smart home app, locked all the doors to trap them inside, and broadcasted their little date night directly to his mother and his boss. We all know that sickening gut feeling, the one where your partner suddenly starts guarding their cell phone like it holds nuclear launch codes. You try to convince yourself you're just being crazy, until one accidental, simple discovery hands you the absolute perfect revenge. My husband Carter and I had been married for 5 years. We lived in a gorgeous, modern house in the Chicago suburbs. Everything was fine, until Carter got promoted to vice president at his investment firm. Almost overnight, he turned into a complete stranger. He started coming home at 10 p.m. He changed his passcode. Whenever I asked him why he was acting so shady, he would instantly turn it around on me. "You are suffocating me, Riley," he would say, sighing loudly. "I manage a massive team now. It is just corporate stress. Stop acting crazy." I wanted to believe him, but women have intuition for a reason. The following month, I had to fly out to Seattle for a marketing summit. I hated leaving our golden retriever, Max, home alone for 3 days. So, on my way to the airport, I impulse bought a $300 smart pet camera. This camera was incredible. It had 4K video, a treat dispenser, and a crystal clear two-way microphone. I plugged it in on the living room shelf. It looked exactly like a sleek, black wireless speaker. I didn't even mention it to Carter because I was rushing to catch my flight. Fast forward to Wednesday night. I was sitting in my hotel room on the West Coast, missing my dog. I opened the app on my phone, just to toss Max a virtual treat. The live feed loaded, but I didn't see my dog. I saw Carter, and he wasn't alone. He was sitting on our custom leather sofa, opening a very expensive bottle of champagne. Then, a young blonde woman walked into the frame. She was wearing my expensive silk bathrobe. It took me 2 seconds to recognize her. It was Madison, his brand new junior assistant. I sat on the edge of my hotel bed, completely paralyzed. I watched him pull her onto his lap, right in my living room. For about 60 seconds, my heart completely shattered. The pain was unbearable, but then the sadness just evaporated. A sudden, ice-cold wave of pure adrenaline took over my entire body. I didn't want to cry. I wanted to burn his entire life to the ground. Our house is fully equipped with a high-end smart home system. I control the alarm, the heavy security locks, the thermostat, and the surround sound speakers, straight from an app on my phone. Carter thought I was asleep, 2,000 miles away. He thought he was untouchable. He was very wrong. First, I opened the security app with one single tap. Click. I engaged the heavy electronic locks on the front door, the back door, and the garage. Next, I opened the climate control app. I dropped the thermostat from a cozy 72 degrees all the way down to a freezing 50 degrees. Then it was time for the grand finale. I moved to the entertainment system. I turned on our 75-inch television, set the volume to absolute maximum, and blasted an emergency siren noise through the speakers. Through the dog camera, I watched Carter physically jump in terror. Madison screamed and spilled champagne all over the rug. That was my cue. I unmuted the two-way microphone. "Carter!" My voice boomed through the living room, echoing off the high ceilings. "You forgot to feed the dog." Carter froze. The color drained out of his face. He looked around wildly, terrified. "Riley?" he stammered, looking at the ceiling. "Riley, how are you doing this?" "I am watching you, Carter," I said, my voice dangerously calm. "I am watching you on the 4K pet camera sitting on the shelf, the one that is currently recording this entire disgusting scene, directly to my secure cloud drive." Carter lunged toward the bookshelf, his eyes wide with absolute panic. "Don't bother unplugging it," I said. "It has a backup battery. And besides, the damage is already done. I just created a live, shareable link to this video feed." "Riley, wait, please, don't do this," he begged, staring directly into the lens. "I already did," I replied. "I just texted the link to your mother, your father, and the senior head of HR at your firm. Enjoy the watch party." Madison started hyperventilating. She ran to the front door, yanking frantically on the handle. "It won't open!" she cried out. "The door is jammed." "It's not jammed, Madison," I said through the speaker. "I locked it. You two can sit in the freezing cold and think about your life choices. I will unlock the doors in exactly 1 hour. If you try to break my windows, I will call the police and report a home invasion." I muted the microphone, sat back against my hotel pillows, and watched them panic on a crystal clear screen. Carter spent the next 60 minutes pacing, shivering, and holding his head in his hands, while his phone lit up endlessly with furious text messages from his mother. When I finally unlocked the doors, Madison ran out of that house so fast she left her purse behind. I served him with divorce papers the very next week because of the airtight video evidence and the strict morality clause at his corporate firm. Carter was fired immediately with 0 severance. I kept the house, I kept the cars, and most importantly, I kept Max. Carter is now renting a tiny 1-bedroom apartment, and his family barely speaks to him. Sometimes the absolute best home security system on the market is just a really good camera for your dog.